I understand I've got cases on both Miss Pickens and on Miss Boyd. And I understand that you were Miss Pickens' parapro. Okay, for how long are y'all together?
The 3 years that she was here, and I was with her 1 year at Holcomb Bridge, so I guess 4 years.
Okay. So just start at the beginning of all this and tell me.
Well, Holcomb Bridge, she was fine to work with, no problems. But here, I don't know. She was even sharp to the kids, and she even made remarks about how I dress, this, that, the other. It would be out of style, or she was ugly to me in some ways.
Wow. Do you know what changed?
No. Well, she bought her a house, and when she bought, well, that was the last she was here, but when she bought her house, she really went kaboom on everybody. But yeah, I guess several people told you how she talked to me, but...
Well, you tell me, because they mostly heard it secondhand, and you're the one with the first-hand knowledge.
She would make comments about my clothes. They would be out of style. Or she told me one day, she said, well, I can't hip it because you have nasty teeth. I mean, just little things like that she said to me. And then she would watch everything I done. I mean, if I got on the computer, she's, over my shoulder watching me. If I go out of the room, she said, where are you going? It was just like I was under a watchman.
Right. Okay.
She even took attendance on like the days I was out. She would mark it down. I don't know what that was for, but...
Okay. And that's something that you do through the front office, take your leave.
Yeah, I mean, you call it in the case or whatever when you see it or you get it approved, yeah. But she would write down how many days I was out or, whatever.
Okay. Did you feel like she didn't like you, or was this just in general, or?
I don't think she liked me because she made a comment at the end of the last year she was here that somebody else was going to be her assistant. So, I brought it to somebody else's attention, and then she told me, she said, I didn't say that. I said, well, if you didn't mean it, why did you say it to me? That somebody else would be working with you. And she said, well, I think you took it the wrong way. I said, no, that's the way you made it sound.
Right.
So.
Okay. All right. So, I've heard references to some incident that happened at Holcomb Bridge. Were you aware of anything?
No, that must have been the first year she was there, and I didn't work with her the first year.
Okay. But you were with her the second year?
Yeah, okay. I wasn't with her that first year she was there, so I don't know anything about her classroom that year.
Okay. All right. All right. So, she's sarcastic and hateful to you. Okay. And what about the kids?
Well, she could be to them, too. She was a very moody person. And I finally just told her, I said, you need some help, some medication or something.
Okay. Tell me about her and the kids.
Well, she would, the first year she was here, she threw a camera at one. Hit him in the head.
Did you see that happen?
Yes, I was in the room. And then she told the parent that he bumped his head on the bookcase.
Okay. Okay. So you actually saw her throw the camera?
I never went out of the room unless it was for lunch or to the bathroom.
Okay. Well, this was at Jake, right? Okay. Okay.
And that was the first year, I think it's 2003, 2004, I believe. It was the first school year here.
Okay.
I'm not good at remembering dates.
Right, let's see. All right, so this is 2007, 2008, so last year was, and this is the fourth year for the school. So, okay, that makes sense, okay. Did his head bleed?
No, it just made a little knot on it and it was bruised.
Okay. Why did she throw it?
Jake was a difficult child to work with. I mean, he'd laugh and carry on and, he'd like to pick at the other kids. He'd even try to pull their hair or he'd try to trip them, whatever. He was just really a difficult child to work with. And she tried to get him in North Metro. She took data on him and, that never went anywhere.
Okay. But why did that mean What about that made her throw the camera?
I just think she was just quick-tempered.
Okay. I mean, did he do something specific?
No more than he usually does.
Okay. Okay.
No.
All right. Did you tell anybody about it?
No, I didn't tell anybody. I think somebody else might have, but I didn't.
Okay.
I could never get out of the room to tell anybody. And if I would go to the IST, she'd tell me not to go to Miss Boyd. I never figured that out, but she said I wouldn't go to Miss Boyd with it.
Okay. The IST was Merritt.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And she would tell you not to go to Boyd?
That's what she told me. She said I would not go to Miss Boyd because it would just blow everything out of, out of proportions. Because I went to her because she said, Melanie told me this. Nobody ever come to me and said a parent had complained on me. So I went to talk to Paula about it. And she wouldn't tell me anything, but she said, I ain't tell you, don't go to Miss Boyd. So I just dropped it.
When Melanie told you that a parent had complained on you?
But nobody came to me.
Okay.
Nobody came and said anything to me. That came from Melanie.
Okay.
One thing, I think she was just a spoiled type person. You know how it can be, just everything's got to be like you want it. That's the kind of person that I think she was.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you couldn't get out of the room to tell anybody about the camera incident?
She would never let me out of the room.
I mean, you didn't get to go to the bathroom or anything?
I'd go to the bathroom and I'd come right back.
Okay.
I had a 30-minute lunch break and I'd come right back.
Okay. So what else did you see her do to the students?
She was always rough with Jake.
And when you say rough, what does that mean?
Like if he'd sit down, she'd take her foot, and try to get him up, or...
Enough to bruise him or hurt him, or...?
Well, no, I don't think it would bruise him.
Okay.
And she did throw a shoe at him a couple of times.
Okay. Tell me about that.
Because he would do the laughing and the giggling that was really loud, and she would try to get him to be quiet.
Okay. Whose shoe?
Her shoe.
Her shoe. Was it a hard shoe?
Yes.
Okay. Did it hit him?
No, she'd miss him with the shoe. I think she just threw it to try to get his attention or whatever.
Did it hit anybody?
No.
Okay. Was that supposed to be funny?
I don't know how she meant it to be.
Okay. Okay. And did you tell anybody about that?
Well, people seen it. No,
Who saw it?
Well, they'd be different ones in the room, like the different assistants.
Uh-huh.
No, I never. And she was rolled up several times.
Okay, but why didn't you tell somebody? Because you're in there every day, right?
Yeah, I'm in there every day. I was with her every day.
Uh-huh.
It got to the point where I had to go to the doctor. I was under so much stress I could not handle it, and I was on medication for it, which I still am. From her, because I couldn't handle it. And I finally, just told Stephanie Sosby, I said, I can't do it anymore.
Okay.
I said, I cannot work with her anymore. She was just ugly to me.
When did you tell Stephanie that?
It might have been toward the end of the year.
Last year? Okay. Okay. All right. So she threw shoes at Jake. She hit him in the head with the camera one time. What else did she do that was rough?
That's about it, besides put him across the hall.
Okay, and tell me about that.
Well, she put him in, it was this room that she would put him in, because he gets so loud and giggly, so she'd put him in the rifkin chair. And she'd tell me, don't go over there. Don't look in. So the day that incident happened, the teacher next door had me to come over and watch her kids while she took one to the bathroom. And I looked in at him, and he was fine then. But then when the teacher was probably gone, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes, and she come back and I looked, and that's when he had done the BM and was playing in it. And I said, oh my God. She said, don't say nothing.
Melanie said that?
Yeah. She said, well, don't say nothing. But I had to tell her. And then one of the other assistants came to help clean the room up while me and her cleaned him up, and then they took the other kids out because the smell was just awful.
Uh-huh. Okay. How long had he been here?
Oh, he'd been in here just about all day.
Okay.
Some days he ate lunch in here while I'd go with the other kids to the cafeteria. She would stay down here and he would eat lunch in here.
Would she be with him then?
See, I don't know because I was in the cafeteria,
Okay.
so I don't know.
Okay. So she would put him over here for the whole entire day?
Some days she did it, some days it'd be like a half a day, but yeah, he was over here quite often.
Every week?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was on a regular basis.
Okay. Was that part of his IEP for how to get him to behave?
No.
Okay. Is it ever acceptable to put a child in a room by themselves unsupervised?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, even if you could stand outside the door while he was in the room, but she'd tell me, don't look in there at him, don't. And so, you know, it was like, okay.
Okay. Did you tell anybody that she was doing that?
Yeah, people knew it. I mean, everybody on the highway knew she was doing it.
Okay, but did you tell anybody?
No.
No. Okay. And why not?
Just like I said, I could never get away from her.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I never got out of, she followed me everywhere I went or say, where did you go or what are you doing or.
Okay. Okay. And you didn't have any way of contacting anybody like on the weekend or anything?
No.
I mean, Ms. Boyd didn't give you her home number or?
I never called Miss Boyd,
Okay. Or Paula?
No. Well, see, I had been to Paula and she'd say, don't, you know, it's took care of, don't say anything, so.
Okay. 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 What about kids other than Jake?
Yeah, she put Garrett across the hall in the other room to do work. If he didn't want to do his work, she would put him across the hall.
Alone?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
She may have put Rafika in there a couple of times.
Okay. And how long would Garrett and Rafika be over there?
Well, Garrett would stay until he would calm down, probably 30, 40 minutes.
Okay.
Rafika would be over there long enough just to do a job bucket, which might be 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. Let's see. Some of the other stories I've heard about are her, like, putting her butt or her breast in the kids' faces.
She'd go up and shake her rear, yeah.
Was she physically touching when she did that?
No.
No.
No. It was just
Okay.
like, you know, she'd go up and shake, no.
Okay. What about her breast? Did you ever see her put her breast?
Now, I didn't see that, but I did see the back part.
Okay. All right. What about screaming at kids?
Yeah, she would scream at Jake. I mean, you know. You ever been in a room where you just finally get to the point where you don't hear a lot of things?
Uh-huh.
That was about the way I was. I mean.
Yeah, okay. Did she ever use profanity?
Yeah, I heard her say a few.
How about at the kids?
No, I didn't hear her say anything to the kids. I just heard her say a few.
Okay. What about putting Jake up against the wall, or anybody up against the wall?
Yeah, she did that. Kind of jacked him up against the wall.
Tell
She
me,
would put him up, and then she would get up under him and push him up so his feet would be off the floor.
why? What was supposed
That
to
was
be the
supposed to be like a
purpose?
timeout thing
Okay,
that she did.
all right. Okay, it's 1:45. And they're supposed to come in here. No, come ahead. Well, just, I think they're supposed to be using this room.
After school.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you can think of?
No, like sometimes we'd be out in the community. I had one, Garrett, and she, he would bother things, and I said, no, don't touch that, no. And she finally took him one day and said, I'm tired of you hearing you tell him no. And so she got him all stirred up at Target.
Okay.
And so I just went with the other kids and got on the bus. And she kept him on the sidewalk for a long time trying to calm him down.
Okay. What do you mean she got him stirred up?
Well, she got him and told him, no, don't you be, and he was one of these you couldn't tell no. And she told him, no, I'm tired of hearing her tell you no, and so then it upset him.
Okay.
I would just tell him no in a calm voice. No, Garrett, no. And she said, I'm tired of you telling him no. So she, got him. So I just took the other kids and got on the bus. I thought, you know what, I don't want to stand out here for everybody to see me. So I'm just going to get on the bus and sit.
Okay. Did she ever, aggravate any of the kids? Do you think she ever purposely got them?
I don't know if she purposely got them started, but, I mean, she could get them stirred up. Like if they didn't really want to do their work, she could get them going.
Okay.
I mean, she's...
You're ready for here?
I think it's close to 3.
Okay.
You just go in this room right next door.
Okay.
They bring with there's some elementary kids that come.
Okay.
Parents work in the building.
Okay, thank you. All right.
At 3 is okay.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you.
Thanks.
But yeah, she could get them stirred up, but she was a sweet person, but I don't know, it was just like all of a sudden something just kind of... Because when I first started working with her, she was just as nice as she could be. So I don't know if she got burnt out. I mean, I don't know. Because she really loved Jake. She kept him the whole time he was here. So I don't know.
She loved him and she mistreated him?
She loved him, yeah. She really did love him. So see, it was just like, all of a sudden she was just a different person. I don't know. And I kept telling her, I said, you need some help. And she said, what kind of help? And I said, well, you either need some counseling or some medication or something.
And what would she say when you told her that?
She just looked at me.
Okay.
I mean, I finally had to get on some because I was just under so much stress.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I took a lot from her, but...
She was mean to you, she was mean to the kids. Why did you keep agreeing to work with her, or did you have a choice?
I really didn't have a choice. They put me in there with her.
Okay.
And then, at the end of last year, I told Stephanie, I said, I can't do it. So the beginning of the year, I was in Stephanie's room. And then when they did the switching, I got back over here, which, it's better. I told them, I said, just don't put me in the situation I was in last year. Because I can't handle it no longer. But I don't know. I don't know if she had family problems. I think her dad probably told her a lot of stuff to do. I mean, I don't know.
Stuff to do like?
Take attendance on me. You shouldn't let your assistants get by with, what. But I told her, I said, those are my days. I know how to use them, and I don't abuse them.
Right.
Because I've got bukus of them now. So I could tell her the days I was out. I was out 4 days, and I told her why. So.
Were you the only assistant?
Yoselin was in there the first year we was here.
Okay.
She worked mostly with Gary.
Okay. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
She was in there. And then Denise Ball, she came in and out.
Okay.
But yeah, then it was just me.
So last year it was just you?
Well, Denise was just in and out a little bit in the mornings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And y'all had, 5 or 6 kids?
We had 5, I think. I think it was 5. Garrett, Rafika, Jake, Alex. 4, I guess. But the little guy I worked with across the hall, she had him. And she put him over here in timeout because he was crying. And the parents come in and caught him over here. So that was a big thing, too. But she wouldn't let me do. It's just like I told him. He's one of these that cries. He has cerebral palsy. Can't talk. He can't
Is that
do.
Alex?
It's Aaron.
Aaron, right, okay.
Yeah, that I work with. And there was a lot of times she wouldn't let me do stuff with him. Like when he cried, I'd want to, leave him alone. But now I work with him. I do whatever. He's fine. But she was one of these that wanted to tell you, I didn't have any suggestions. I had to do what she told me to do. She even told me one day I needed to start doing more work.
But that didn't sit well.
Well, I try to keep my cool with her. I try to be, I don't like to hurt people's feelings. I try to get along with everybody.
Right.
So, but I know I'd go home and say this, and my mom would look at me, and I said, well, I didn't say anything back to her. I'd explain to her a lot of times, if I come in tired, my mother's 81 years old, and, I said, I might be up with her or whatever, I'd try to explain it to her. Well, there's something always going on in your family. And I said, well, I have no control over that. But I told her, I said, when my mother is sick, yes, I will be out.
Yeah, sure.
So, she was one that tried to have control
of you, yeah. That's hard to work with.
It was tough.
Yeah. I'm just going to look at this and see if I missed anything.
I never read the report. They said it was out, but I never read it because I think a lot of stuff was twisted that people said.
Really?
I think
Can you
so.
give me some examples?
Well, I don't know. A lot of people
because if it's not right, I need to know.
Well, I don't know. A lot of them have said they have read it and it wasn't exactly what they said. So I don't know. I have not read it. I did not want to read it.
Okay. Miss Massey has seen Miss Pickens smack Jake on the shoulder. Do you remember that?
Yeah, she did that.
Was it something you could hear across the room? Or?
Oh, no. I think it was just like
Okay. Was it done in anger?
No, a lot of times she was just playing with him on stuff like that,
Okay.
And maybe the head, but no, that wasn't anger.
Okay. Okay, during the school year 2004-2005, Judy Reddick complained about Miss Pickens' behavior in an incident with Jake.
And that's when she got written up. I don't know exactly what all that was, what I was in it, because I wasn't in on that.
Okay.
I knew she had been written up, but
okay.
I don't know. I thought she was supposed to be on some kind of behavior plan or discipline plan or something, but I don't know if that ever took place.
Okay. Okay. You talked to Miss White?
Yeah, she was our IST. Not our IST, but a chairperson.
Okay.
That was on something that she said a parent complained on me about, so I went to,
Okay.
and talked to her, and she said no, that she did not know anything about it. So I don't know if it was something that happened, because I was never talked to. Nobody ever talked to me about it. And I went to Paula on that, and she said, well, I wouldn't go to Miss Boyd if I were you.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Now, you went to Paula about Pickens telling you
that a
parent had complained.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to Paula about Pickens' behavior?
No, because so many other people had, and she'd tell them the same thing, don't talk to. She'd tell you not to go to Francis about it.
Okay. Let's see. During the week of May 14th, Ms. Massey talked to Ms. Merritt about Ms. Pickens' treatment of Alex Williams. Ms. Merritt told Ms. Massey, don't say anything about it. So now what was that?
That was when Melanie said that somebody accused me of being left with
Okay,
Alex.
that's all right.
Now that came from her. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
There was nothing ever said to me personally about it. And that's when I went and talked to Miss White.
Okay.
Because
So it wasn't about what Pickens was doing, it was
No.
about what Pickens told you that
Yes.
you were. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. And after the incident with Jake on May 21st, Ms. Pickens called Ms. Massey and wanted to take her to lunch and talk.
But I didn't talk to her.
Okay.
And then she said she had give her attorney my number and name, but he never called me. And I said, you know, Melanie, you should have asked me that before you give my phone number out. But I never heard from
Anybody else? No. Okay. Okay. Is there anything I forgot to ask you about?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we pretty much covered it.
Okay. Is there anything you want to ask me?
No, except all that's going to be confidential.
Well,
don't get twisted like all of ours.
Well, as
know.
you know, as I said, there's, you know, and if it were to come to a hearing or anything,
Oh yeah, it would.
you know, you could very well be called to testify, and you know, the attorneys would get copies of it and all that sort of stuff. But you know, we're not gonna.
Is this about her license? Is that what it's about?
Yes.
Okay.
That's all we have jurisdiction over, and not just hers, Miss Boyd's as well.
Oh. See, I didn't know Miss Boyd all that well. Only time I ever saw her was like if she come and asked me something about Jake, or could I write down something that happened, or you know, other than that, I never talked to the lady.
Okay. So she wasn't on the hall very much?
She would come down every once in a while, but
Not often.
no.
Yeah.
And Paula never come down, but the IC we got now, she's a sharp lady.
Good. Okay. Go ahead.
No, that's all I was going to say.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Well, I hope I helped you.
You certainly did.